Hey warriors, welcome back. I have some notes up there that I'm just going to read because my memory and everything that I'm doing today is not good, but I wanted to bring you this video because I said I would. So for those of you joining me for the first time, I'm LeeAnna. I live with chronic pain and illness as well as mental illness. I will be telling you my story bit by bit on my Sunday vlogs. But today's video, we're going to be talking about how to keep your anxiety, stress, and panic levels down during this crisis in the world today. I'm surprised it actually took me this long to film this video since I have been working through all kinds of PTSD and anxiety and panic myself lately. So one of the first ideas I came up with was to read or reread your favorite books. And to be totally honest, I asked my mom if she had any ideas, and this was the first thing out of her mouth. And I had thought of it, but I didn't really, go into it. But the reason that I say your favorite book is because here's the thing, your objective here is to get your anxiety level to come down. So anything that you can immerse yourself in that you totally is an escape for you, that's what you're looking for. So pull out those books, those favorite books of yours, set aside some time every day, read your books, get your anxiety level down. Now the second one I have is just to meditate or to sit still for 2 times a day. If you can't do 2 times a day, at least do once, because it's very important that you get that sitting still and breathing in. Now, if you do reading and that's kind of a meditative therapy for you, then you don't need to do this, but it is certainly an option, and you don't even have to believe in meditation or anything like that. That's the beauty of it. Meditation is simply sitting still. You can pray, you can think, you can try to get yourself to go to sleep. The only thing that you need to do, though, is to try, you can do any of those, but the one thing that you need to do is to try and just breathe in and out evenly. And then hold it. Breathe it out through your mouth like that. You do that for 4 or 5 times, then you just breathe regular. And I'm going to tell you, it brings the stress level down, and it will bring it down quick. Now, however, the thing with meditation, it has an immediate effect, but it might not last for very long. So when you're breathing in and out, one thing that I like to do is I like to think to myself, okay, how can I turn this day around? And just kind of sit there and think about it and think, okay, what's been going on and how can I turn the day around? And things that I need to do. And sometimes, I will tell you this, sometimes you need to cry. You need to punch a pillow. You need to scream. If there's not anybody around that would panic if I to hear you screaming. But you got to get that out somehow. Now, whether it be creatively or with a big burst of temper like that, or if it's just breathing and letting it ooze out of you just on purpose, purposely, and just letting it go and just letting it roll right off of you. Those are all different ways that people can let go of things that are really bugging them. So that's what I say about meditation. The next thing is listen to instrumental music while doing your chores or a project or something fun like a puzzle, something like that where you can do it with other people, but you don't have to. That's what I'm trying to get with these items. They can be solitary and they can be with other people. And here's why I say instrumental music or ambient, but not any with words, especially, okay, I say that because for me, I'm a very emotional and empathic type of person. And when I hear songs, I immediately go back to a memory that's good or bad from hearing that, from when I heard that song in the past. So listening to music for me is an emotional tug of war inside my body. It's super strange. Sometimes when I'm really stressed, I just can't listen to any music, but I have discovered ambient music that's on YouTube. It's in apps. It's, all over the place. I really like listening to a fire crackling, or you can even find one that is sounds of a coffee shop or a cafe. Those are fun. Those are really fun. But sometimes it's a little bit too busy. So you have to find one that matches with your state of mind at the time and to how you want to, if you're going to be working, if you're going to be doing chores, maybe you could listen to forest sounds or birds singing, or just piano music. If you're just kind of wanting to wind yourself down, you can play piano music when you sit there and do your breathing and your meditation. These are all things that are designed to put your mind in a state of flux so that you're not really engaged in anything in your mind. You can read a book to escape. You can listen to instrumental music and do some chores that are kind of meditative for your body. Some people say they love to clean. I personally can't stand it, but some people say they love it and it's kind of a meditative thing for them. So, or just the breathing and the sitting still. If you live where you have not a lot of people, or there's not a lot of people outside, and you maybe have bird feeders up like we do, you could just go sit outside and listen to the birds. It's a beautiful day in some places in the country, and just do that. Now I have a couple more. The next one is watch some old favorite movies. Now this is kind of goes along with the music, but movies, there's so many different types. Like my favorite to watch when I really am wanting to just have the movie envelop me are black and white movies. There are some actors that were just astounding in the Hollywood glamour age. They were so good and great actors. Like, for example, Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. I love watching their movies. I like Humphrey Bogart. He's really great. Just old movies like that. They can be black and white or they can be colored, in the early years of when they were coming out with movies in color. But the reason that I say favorite movies is the same thing with the book. It's the same thing. And the reason that, music, like I said, can trigger emotions, big emotions, if you're that type of person. If you're the type that loves music and you got a playlist for every single emotion that runs through your body, go for it. I mean, go for it. But anything that is going to engage with your stress or your anxiety, that's what we're trying to avoid. So that's why I say favorite movies. Especially on a rainy day. Oh, wonderful. Have tea, have coffee, a cozy blanket on the couch. I mean, it's great, especially if you got a pet. Let them curl up next to you. You're golden. The next thing is writing to encourage yourself. You can write letters to yourself, or you can write in a journal. Now, the trick with this is it has to be encouraging. This is not a journal or a writing session to let everything out. Now, you can do that, like we were talking about before, just kind of like letting things out and letting them go. However, in this particular step, I'm meaning for it to be something that is encouraging to your future, something that your future self can read that is encouraging to you now, that your future self would say to you. For example, what I thought of immediately was I could write a letter to myself saying, you're okay, LeeAnna, we made it. You are getting through this just fine. You are wonderful, and that type of things like that. So that maybe in 5 years when I go and read that, I can be like, you know what, or a year, or whenever you want it to be, 6 months, however long of a time you need to go to write that letter to yourself. You can even put it in a damn envelope and seal it up. But when you go to read that thing, then you can realize, hey, I did make it. We made it through that time of crisis in this pandemic. Think about in history how many times this has happened. And yes, it's been tragic. And but like in the Great Depression, people made it. A lot of people didn't, but a lot of people did. And that's the one thing that they're not saying on the news. My mom pointed this out to me this morning. There are so many people that have passed away because of complications from this or just not being able to fight it, and they're susceptible. However, there's a ton more people that have gotten rid of it and are fine now. So, let's see, yeah, writing those encouraging words to yourself and reading them, say, in 6 months, and say, you know what, you did it. Here's a big old pat on the back for you. Let's celebrate. You did it. You can do this. And as you're writing that letter, you are encouraging yourself right now, and kind of saying, you know, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And then when you read it later, then you are able to say, hey, look what I did. I got through it with the help of God, with the help of just focusing on energy, with the help of whatever it is that you need to that you need to have help yourself, as long as it's not something negative or problematic or hurtful. So yeah, just try and do that. I am working on myself. I'll go ahead and share with you a little bit of sharing time. Myself, I am working on still getting my room set up into a beautiful haven and Zen bedroom for me. And it's about half there, because I do have all my chronic issues, and it's very hard for me just to get into something unless it's a computer for like 4 or 5 hours at a time, and then I'm like totally wiped and like my brain turns to mush and I can't do it. But physically I can only do something for maybe like 45 minutes to an hour without getting incredibly sleepy and having to sit down and rest. And I hate that. That's stupid, but that's fibro. That's fibromyalgia right there. The fatigue that it causes is unbelievable, the fatigue that I get. And I really have to try and make myself move around, because the worst thing that you can do is to just let it, the longer you sit, it's kind of like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. The longer that you sit still, the more you're going to need that oil to grease your joints up and get you moving again. So if you're moving though, then you're kind of working it on your own. And so all I have to do is get up and kind of just walk around. I go in the living room and I lean against the wall, or I don't sit down. And just kind of, I take the dogs out, for me, not for them. And, kind of just get my body to move a little bit. So that's a little bonus in there. Now, I do have one more bonus after I tell you this. I do want to let you know that I really hope that you like this video. It was inspired earlier today. I had no clue for like 3 or 4 days, what I was going to write in this, but I knew that I had to write something. Write, tell. It's going to probably be on my blogs. That's why I say write. But, and I kind of wrote out my thoughts. And so I think that's very important when you, sleeping on things and letting things rest in your brain does help. It helps me. That's what it's been doing for 3 days. And then I was like, okay, it's time to put my fingers on this keyboard and let's see what comes out. And it came out, and I'm very, very happy. I've been trying to get this video out for, like I said, a few days. So I really hope that you liked it, and I really hope that it was helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up to like it, and possibly subscribe. And if you want to hear more of my videos and be notified when they come out, click that little bell. It really does help me, especially with being a new YouTuber. And it really helps to have the exposure to potentially reach more and more people and help them. That's what my goal is. It's not a goal for me. I came up with Chronic Inspiration because I wanted to help the people that feel like they can't be helped. I wanted, and not with anything scientific or medically, given. This is just purely encouragement and inspiration, purposes. So I am not a medical professional. I try to work that in every single video. I am not a medical professional. So please just take my words with a grain of salt. Some of these things might work for you, some might not. And, just go from there. So I did want to just thank you and for listening. And let's see, I wanted to let you know that we are okay, and we're going to be okay. And today is the only thing that matters. Get through today. Plan for the future, but get yourself through today with just thinking about, okay, what do I need to do today? Where am I in today's frame of mind? Because today has a specific moment that you're in. Like I've been sitting here filming a video. Next, I'm probably going to go eat because my belly's hungry. But right now, the only thing that I need to think about is being in this video. Now, granted, disclaimer, I don't have kids. So having kids and you have to think about them differently. I totally get all that. You know, you have to think about your time. But for those of us without kids, those of us that live alone and live all, you know, on our own, not alone, but live on our own, you know, you need to say, okay, you know, I'm just doing this right now. Don't try and think about eating the whole elephant at one time, you know, just one bite at a time. So I really hope that it helped. And if you want to comment below with any anxieties or stressors, stress triggers, things like that, we could talk it out. I will be hanging out in the comments today. I do every time I put up a video. It was a piece of advice I heard from a YouTuber, Amy Landino. You should really check out her channel. She is incredibly smart, incredibly driven, and she talks about forming your days and henceforth your life by having a morning routine. It's really good stuff, simplistic but powerful, and you should really go check her out. It's her channel is Amy TV, I believe, or it might be Amy Landino. But yeah, you should definitely check her out here on YouTube. Now, there's one more quick bonus before you leave. Don't leave yet. And if you're still with me right now at the end of the video, you are the best. But the bonus is I left some links below for some places that you can go and find some printables that you may or may not get to have some fun with and color. So I left these links below, and I didn't make them because I'm not an artist, but they are free links that I was able to pass along. So hope you like that, and I hope you like the video. Like and subscribe. Give me some comments. I am here. I am listening, and I am ready to encourage people. And I hope you have a wonderful day. See ya.